This video is presented by Western and Southern Financial Group, a game plan for your financial future. Every great team starts with a strong foundation, and your future should too. With life insurance built like a championship roster, Western and Southern helps protect what matters most so you can focus on winning today while planning for tomorrow. Whether you're just starting out your journey, building your dynasty, or ready to retire like a champion, Western and Southern has the right play for your life stage. Visit westernsouthern.com to get your free life insurance quote today. Western and Southern, built to win. The Saturday night game is the Baltimore Ravens and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers clinch a playoff spot with a win. The Baltimore Ravens are eliminated with a loss. Does Baltimore need to win out and the Steelers got to lose out?
Yep.
Right?
They need
2-2?
They play in Week 18, so essentially they need the Steelers to lose to the Browns.
Right, yeah. We still have the ability to set up some nice do-or-die games for Week 18.
Oh, we are still – I mean, this is crazy that we're going into the second to last week, and only one division has been clinched so far.
Yeah.
Only the Eagles in the NFC East have clinched their division. No, we're going to get – we might not get a lot of playoff spots on the line.
But seeding.
But the seeding's going to be crazy. If they both win this week, Seattle and San Fran are going to play for the 1 seed next week in the NFC. I mean, we're still going to get some really fun football games despite a lot of the berths being clinched.
All right, talk to me about the Packers here in this game. Obviously, they're going through a lot of injuries. First and foremost with Jordan Love, who was out of their last game due to a concussion. I haven't seen really anything about him. Do you have an update on Jordan Love? I don't even know if he's playing. Malik Willis looked pretty good when he came in and relieved Jordan Love for his concussion, but
he reportedly has a shoulder injury as well.
Okay.
So they really have no idea who's playing quarterback, whether it's Love.
I think it's going to be Malik.
Love with the concussion, Malik with the shoulder. Their third quarterback is Clayton Tune. And the Packers, where the Packers are, though, with their playoff situation, they don't desperately have to win this game either. They just need to win one of their last two, or they need the Lions to lose one. So, they play the Minnesota Vikings in Week 18. Obviously, a winnable game. That isn't winnable until you win it. But,
that's very true. Very true.
But you also have, it's not just Jordan Love. Josh Jacobs is nowhere near 100%. Obviously, the Micah Parsons injury. Zach Tom was out last week. Elgton Jenkins was out at center last week. They have a lot of injuries they're dealing with, and now you have you're a day shorter playing on a Saturday this week. So there really is a lot of ambiguity surrounding the Packers and their injury situation right now. But one big thing for me, and I mentioned this yesterday on the review show, is the Packers have really struggled in the red zone their last 5 games. I don't really care who is in there. When they get opportunities in the red zone, they have to finish. They went 0 for 5 against the Bears in the red zone. Their last 5 games, they have scored 6 touchdowns out of 16 red zone trips. All right? In that stretch, a 48.5 offensive grade as a team in the red zone. The only team worse is the New York Jets.
I just saw that as well. I pulled it up really quick just for the last 3. They're 20% in the red zone on their last 3 games, and in fact, the only team worse is the New York Jets.
Well, of course, we'll get to them later. The Ravens defense.
I don't know if we will if we get to the notes that you initially put in for that game, but
true. Yeah, we won't mention those. The Ravens defense in the red zone all year has been really good, but especially since Week 9. Think about that Miami Dolphin game on Thursday night when their defense really started to turn things around. How about this for the Ravens defense? Their last 23 defensive possessions in the red zone, they've only given up 7 touchdowns, 7 for 23, and they have a 91.6 team defense grade in the red zone in that stretch. That's the best in the NFL. If the Packers are going to win this game, whether it's Love or Willis or even if it's Clayton Tune out there, when they get into the red zone, especially actually if it's one of the backups, they have to finish drives.
Yeah.
They're going to have a tough time, and we don't know if right now if Lamar Jackson's going to play or if it's going to be Tyler Huntley or whatever's going to happen with the Ravens.
Harbaugh said, oh, yeah, I expect Lamar Jackson to play.
I mean, he's probably going to try to play through it. And even then, with all the injuries he's had this year, he's not 100%.
No, I'm with you.
But there's going to be a huge premium because it's really starting to hurt the Packers now on them finishing drives. You could argue it cost them the Denver game early in that game and certainly cost them the game outside of their late game errors. But when you're 0 for 5 in the red zone in a game that every other stat says you should have dominated, that's why you kept the Bears in the game in the first place. So the Packers need to finish drives regardless of who is out there healthy and able to play.
On the Ravens side of things, they have been rushing the ball better over the last 4 games specifically. So over the last month, They have an 80.0 rushing grade as a team, which is good. Pull, lead, and power. Those are their highest graded rushing plays. They struggled in between the tackles to run at the beginning of the season. They're getting better at that. That's where they want their identity to lie, and they've been able to execute that a lot better over the last month. So those two plays leaning into what they've wanted their identity to be. I know they've really struggled on the interior this year. It hasn't been that same ass-kicking offensive line that we're sort of used to seeing from the Ravens. Shoot, we mentioned this on the Monday show as well, how they just don't feel like the same sort of Ravens team that we typically think of in both trenches. They're not dominating on the offensive side of the ball, and they don't have these pass rush winners, these guys to really fear on the defensive line, especially without Nnamdi Madubuike in the middle. Travis Jones has been good, but who else outside of him? So when you look at the offensive side of things, though, and this matchup specifically, the Packers have struggled over the last month in run defense from their front seven players. So I actually think their safeties and corners have been playing pretty well in run defense, but when you take those guys out because they're not involved in run defense on some run defense plays, just those front seven players, it's been a 46.0 run defense grade for the Green Bay Packers over the last month. So that also has been an area where they have really struggled. Ultimately, I am going to take the Packers. I'm going to take the Packers here, overcome the injuries. I think that they're still playing at a high enough level to win this football game, to compete and to get in the playoffs and believe that they've got a shot to make a deep playoff run. I mean, let's be honest. Romeo Doubs catches that onside kick. The Caleb throw doesn't happen, and we're talking about Green Bay still overcoming all of their injuries, top of the NFC North, all of that. But it doesn't happen that way, and we're having more of a free-fall conversation with the Packers. So just trying to bring in some context of one play that probably should have gone their way, if we're being honest, would have got them a pretty big win in Chicago against that team, even through all of the injuries that they had. So I'll take them here in this one. One, I've got to be different than you because I've got to catch you in the standings. But two, I do think that there's a world where the Packers come out a little bit more focused, a little bit more motivated, a little bit ready to go here in this game.
Two teams with a lot of similar issues lately, right? I mean, the Ravens have run the ball better of late, but it's been inconsistent. The Packers' run game lately has been inconsistent with Josh Jacobs and his injuries. Both teams dealing with injuries, and both teams with some trouble finishing games, right? And look, think about the Ravens and where they just were against the Patriots. They had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter of that game. They will sit there easily and say, oh, hey, we should have won this game. We just didn't finish. And both teams, to me, obviously with the Parsons injury with the Packers and the Ravens all season, struggling to get to the quarterback. I think there's a better chance that Lamar Jackson plays than Jordan Love. I think we're actually going to get kind of an ugly defensive game here with two secondaries that are still pretty good. I'm going to take the Ravens on the road 20-16. I think they're a little more desperate. They have to win this game to keep their season alive. I think they'll put the pressure on the Steelers to go to Cleveland and get it done.
Everyone's got takes. Numbers have truth. And the truth is, most people are betting with emotion. Sportsbooks feed on it. TikTok rules sell it. The hype machine runs on it. That's how you lose. PFF is different. You're betting with winning data. The same data trusted by all 32 NFL teams and the sharpest minds in the game. PFF betting tools take every prop, every matchup, every angle, and run them through our custom models. Built on the best football data in the world. What comes back is your edge. Simple, sharp, and built to win. Want to go deeper? PFF puts a pro-level analytics department in your hands, giving you the same insights teams use to find every advantage. Build your game plan with matchup analysis. Project every snap, every matchup, and every edge before kickoff. Because the smartest plays start long before Sunday. Hit rates show how a player performs against their prop and against defenses built the same way. It's the data that gives you real confidence in every pick. Next, Key Insights translates PFF data into the story behind every matchup, giving you the why that powers your bets. From coverage schemes to defensive looks, it's the context that turns raw numbers into winning decisions. When you're ready to take action, filter through every prop on the market and focus on the opportunities that matter, by game, matchup, or value. Then, shop for the best available line in your area and tap your book of choice to place the bet instantly. Everyone's got takes, but now you've got truth. Bet with data, win with PFF.